Joe, A&M and Auburn. You know, it's funny. On Wednesday, we talked about A&M and Auburn, and I said I did take A&M. I shouldn't have done it. But what do we always say about Auburn in November at night in Jordan-Hare? Goofy shit happens. We literally spent 10 minutes on this game on Wednesday. And guess what happened? In triple overtime, down go the
Aggies. Wasn't it in simtuple overtime? Wasn't it the 5th overtime technically? Am I crazy?
Oh, no, you're right. 5 overtime.
Yeah, because it went to that stupid shootout thing that they did.
Yeah, okay. All right. That's my fault. See, even I'm messed up. Okay. 5 overtimes and beat Aggies. Hey, by the way, remember a month ago when the Aggies fans came all up in the show and were making fun of your boy here?
It was 4 overtime. Sorry, it was 4. But sorry, continue.
New year, same Aggies.
Look, I need to stop doing this. I need to stop picking first-year head coaches on the road at night. I'm not doing it again. I need to really dig in a little bit further and say, you know what, this coach is going to lose, and I need to just take the heat face first. I don't care. What happened in this game, though, Texas A&M really crumbled defensively. I thought that they did some great stuff on offense where we saw the big plays. We saw the run game. Marcel Reed made some nice plays, but Cam Coleman, number 1, and this isn't a hot take. I think everyone's going to agree with this. That kid's going to be a star. Talk about another true freshman who had a phenomenal performance and is continuing to emerge and step up. His route running, his feet, the things that he's able to do to create for himself, that kid is unbelievable. And Keandre Lambert-Smith had a great game as well. A&M secondary was completely smoked. They were hung out to dry. They could not only were they beaten in situations where they allowed separation for guys like Coleman to get open, but there were contested catch situations where they were just not able to finish. They were getting bossed up on by these Auburn receivers, especially Lambert-Smith. I don't truly kind of know what to do with Texas A&M, and I'm going to revert to the same conversation that we just had with Caleb.
Alabama.
Yes. You should be patient, especially for the most important part of this. What Texas A&M has done this year is a far more competitive and balanced, not consistent, but when they're playing their best football, showing the potential to be a top 3, 4, maybe even higher team in the SEC on a consistent basis under Mike Elko. Mm-hmm. So we got to give Elko the same level of grace that we're giving to DeBoer. This is not Jimbo Fisher where it's going to be erratic and up and down. Give it time, let him recruit, and let's see how things turn out by year 3.
You know they call them Texas 8-4 for a reason, huh?
Crazy, they're going to finish 8-4.
Well, they might be Texas. We never know. Joe, this is how I felt about the game the entire game. They're up, they're leaning, they're taking hold. They got a firm lead early. Man, listen, I don't know what to think of Auburn right now because I look at them and I say, man, I know that Jarquez Hunter had a great game. Boy, that O-line got pushed against a good D-line, man. They really did. I see Cam Coleman, and I'm saying to myself, man, all right. Something happened with Hugh Freeze. Something happened up with the season. They've been recruiting very well. They're getting playmakers. I've seen this story before with you. Dude, I mean, they had dudes. I mean, they were all over the field. Now,
they just need a quarterback. That's their biggest – I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's the biggest thing is if they figure out what they're doing at quarterback, it becomes a completely different future for them.
Yeah, and listen, they feel like they had that guy in Deuce Knight coming in. I mean, maybe he is going to be that guy and that dude. But, man, I got to tell you, A&M is not a bad football team in either line of scrimmage. And I felt like that had been a lot of Auburn's issues, that and turnovers. Joe, every single week when we would talk about a team that's got to face Auburn in the beginning of the year, we would come out here and say, you know what, man, we're watching them. They're having good plays here, and here. But they're turning the ball over. They're 130th in the country in turnover rate. They're 130th in the country in turnover margin. They're not generating turnovers, but Thorne throws too many interceptions. They're fumbling the ball too much. What happens if Auburn doesn't do that? Last night. That's what it looks like. And Joe, I'm not saying that this team is only a quarterback away. They're not. They got a lot of other holes that they need to fill. But my goodness gracious, I felt like I was like, all right. I saw the vision of the Auburn Tigers last night for the first time probably all year. In reference to A&M, I would just say, again, like we talked about with Alabama, when the going got tough, you didn't have the depth. And you had a great play call. Was it the Philly special, I guess is technically the play call, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the game.
Kind of. Well, you're talking about where the Texas A&M tried to run like a reverse. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the Philly special, isn't it? So, to some extent.
No, because the Philly special would have been thrown to Marcel Reed.
But it's the same play.
Well, yeah, it's a reverse pass. It's a reverse pass that when it was open, he should have caught it.
And he should have caught it. But you found a way to win against a good opponent. Now, Joe, going down this game, I want to point out one thing in reference to A&M and Auburn here. I thought late when A&M had continued to come back, they take a lead. I was like, man, you know what? This is going to be another game that we look at Auburn and say what could have been. Joe, the way that they played down the stretch, they give up the 10 points late. But, man, I look at them and say to myself, man, that field goal late was critical. That stop late was critical. Everything that they did, I felt like for once that I was like, man, they're going to make the play here. I was surprised in saying that about Auburn, but there we were, and that's what happened.
I just keep coming back to what you just said and what I mentioned a second ago, though. Certainly frustrating performance for Texas A&M. It's a promising performance for Auburn. I just feel so locked in thinking, what the heck would Auburn be if they had somebody who was better than Peyton Thorne? I don't mean to poo-poo on Peyton Thorne, but he's been turnover prone. He has been extremely erratic. He made some nice plays, and he played his best game, I think, all season today. But if you were able – yesterday. Don't know what day it is anymore. It feels like it's been one long day this whole season. If you're able to get somebody who's a more efficient decision maker and is better at setting up guys on this team to succeed, this Auburn team does have that potential to be next year one of the best teams. And I don't mean to be too forward looking. Like, I think about, there's a lot of rumored names out there that could be going in the portal. Like, the first one that comes to mind, I'd try to go after Noah Fafita. Like, I would try and get Noah Fafita, who is the epitome of smart decision maker who doesn't risk putting the ball in bad, adverse situations and taking dumb, really bad risks that are going to set up your offense for failure. He is a guy that knows how to distribute. And I think maybe he's not the level of athlete that Hugh Freeze is going to be looking for in his offense, because he probably wants somebody that is, we saw that what he had with Malik Willis. We saw that what he had with Chad Kelly and all that. But if he can get someone like Fafita, who should be hopping in the portal, they need to throw whatever money they can at him.
Does have a lot of bad turnovers.
Who, Thorne or Fafita?
Fafita.
But he was, and I screw them Arizona fans, by the way, who gave me shit for saying that Brennan was a bad coach. Now they're all saying that they should fire him after the first year. That offense that they're putting that poor kid in is completely screwing him over, because he is a great young not young passer, but he's a great passer, and they've completely screwed him over.
Yeah, it's not good. The kid would be
he would do really well in Hugh's offense. I think he would.
Well, it's the Cam Ward effect.
Right.
When you don't have playmakers, what do you think is going to happen?
BetOnline remains your top spot for all of your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, NHL are all in full swing. BetOnline is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions, with both desktop and mobile access at any time. Head to BetOnline today and use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for 50% off your first deposit. That is a 50% welcome bonus. BetOnline, where the game starts.